Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXP and today is the 14th of June 2022 and the dark times of crypto are ahead of us. The global crypto market is below the $1 trillion mark and it is on its downtrend. Definitely not good. Now remember, Bitcoin was created to protect against this very situation and it should have ideally been a hedge against inflation, but it's nowhere doing that. And something that I think often when I talk to my friends and colleagues is that game theory, human greed, and the nature of demand and supply for Bitcoin, that is, it is fixed, and all of the cryptocurrencies where the supply is fixed is very hard to overcome. Now, in the next coming months, years, and decades, with deglobalization and new world order on its agenda, it'll be really interesting to see how Bitcoin fits into it. Or is Bitcoin also a part of the elite agenda? Now, we'll be talking about that in today's episode. And in yesterday's podcast, one of the listeners asked if Bitcoin could be the world reserve currency. And I'm honestly hoping that Bitcoin does not become a world reserve currency because the accumulation of Bitcoin among the early adopters, multi-billionaires, millionaires, celebrities, and influencers would be absolutely terrible if Bitcoin were to become the world reserve currency. Now, in today's episode, we are also going to be looking at three news, and all of these three news are negative. The first one is about Celsius Network. Now, Celsius Network has paused withdrawals, swaps, and transfers between accounts. The next news is about Binance. Binance had paused withdrawals, but that was only temporary and that has been restored, so that's definitely good. And the Bitcoin mining hash rate has reached a new all-time high. This is definitely not ideal, but in today's episode, I will not be talking about the Bitcoin mining hash rate. I will talk in detail about Bitcoin mining hash rate tomorrow, and I'll explain why the Bitcoin mining hash rate reaching a new all-time high every month is not a good thing. Now, in today's episode, we will also look at some technical information. What happens is every Tuesdays, Glassnode and CoinShares provide technical information about what's happening in terms of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and general cryptocurrencies. Both of the news are not positive. We won't go into detail, just have a broad outlook of that in today's episode. And at these times, the conviction of Bitcoin, not necessarily altcoin, is more relevant. Believing in Bitcoin, hashtag HODL, that is hold on to dear life, is so critical. Today's episode, CoinShares has shared some really interesting information. We will be exploring that. They have talked about the outflow of funds between America and Europe, and I must say that numbers are really surprising. So we will explore that in detail in today's episode. Regarding UAE, I have two news as well. The first one is about Repton Business School in Dubai. They have launched something called as the Repton Passport, and they're planning to use blockchain technology for capturing students' academic journey and have a different polio. Now, I have a mixed reaction to this. I think the idea and intention is absolutely brilliant, one of the best use cases of using blockchain technology, but they are using the wrong technology. So, excellent use case, but they're definitely using an incorrect or wrong technology. Now, personally, I do believe that in the next decade, more education certificates can be issued using blockchain technology. So we'll be exploring that, some of the pros and cons of Repton Passport. The next news is about ZoroSign. Now, ZoroSign is a company from Arizona. They have a news that they empower UAE businesses with multi-chain blockchain technology. Now, I couldn't understand where blockchain technology fits into the news because the news that I covered, it looks like it's more of a promotional news, and it is published in one of the leading publications called as Zavia. But again, the use case that they have is a perfect use case for blockchain and Dubai. So welcome everyone, it's 8 a.m. You're in Dubai. You're listening to Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and lately Metaverse as well. How the series of episodes under Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is we usually cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well. news that has an impact in the crypto world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and Middle East, and the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. This is followed by Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Gulf Standard Time from the crypto world. Now, every Fridays at 8 a.m. Gulf Standard Time, we have an episode called as Metaverse Everything, where we solely focus on Metaverse. So check out those episodes as well. The format for Metaverse Everything is completely different, and what I tend to do is I publish a weekly report. So check out those weekly reports via my LinkedIn profile. My LinkedIn profile is mentioned in the show notes, or you can also go to the Medium blog page and search for Blockchain DXB. So let's get started with today's episode. Today is the 14th of June 2022. The global crypto market is below the $1 trillion mark, and this is definitely not a good outlook considering the fact that the inflation numbers are ridiculously high, 8.6%, something that we talked about in yesterday's episode. Bitcoin was designed precisely for this reason, but looks like the promise of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is failing. Now the global crypto market is down by 10.46% since the last 24 hours. The total crypto market volume on the last 24 hours is $154.31 billion. So the volume has gone up, which means there is a lot of selling. So people do not have strong conviction in Bitcoin. So there is a lot of selling going on in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And since the last 24 hours, the volume has increased by 58.16%. The volume of DeFi is currently at $10.58 billion. The DeFi's percentage volume in comparison to all the cryptocurrency volumes has gone down to 6.86%. What is really interesting but not surprising is the volume of stablecoins. It has gone up. Now, usually whenever the cryptocurrency market goes down, the volume of stablecoins definitely goes high, and particularly for Tether. The volume of stablecoins now is at $136.73 billion, and stablecoin volume accounts for 88.61% of the total crypto market volume. The king of all king, Bitcoin, is definitely not doing good. Yesterday, the price of Bitcoin was hovering around the $27,000 mark. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $21,336, and the Bitcoin dominance has gone down to 45.14%. Now, since the last 24 hours, Bitcoin is down by 12.67%. Since the last 7 days, Bitcoin has a terrible week. It's down by 24.36%. Ethereum, aka the first world computer, is also doing really bad. It's down to $1,183. Just 2 weeks ago, we looked at the price of Ethereum and it was barely touching the $2,000 mark. I precisely remember the price of Ethereum as back as 2 weeks ago was almost $2,000. It was $1,999 to be precise. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by minus 12.96%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by minus 32.44%. Binance Coin, which has an investigation by the Security Exchange Commission in US, is also not doing good. It is down to $221. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 8.48%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by 22.12%. Now, I'm surprised that the price of Binance Coin hasn't fallen down. I was hoping or expecting rather the price of Binance Coin to go much below 24 or 30%, probably even down by 40%. And I was hoping the price of Binance Coin would be well below the $200 mark, but that is not the case. So in hindsight, it's definitely a good thing for Binance. 14th June, the global crypto market is below the $1 trillion mark. Hashtag HODL, that is hold on to DLF, is definitely more relevant now. My question to you guys is, Bitcoin is supposed to be a hedge against inflation, right? That's what a lot of the Bitcoin maximalists, the so-called price influencers, keep preaching about. Michael Saylor has been tweeting quite often that his trust in Bitcoin is definitely going higher and higher. The crazy thing to note is that Michael Saylor only got involved in Bitcoin literally 2 years ago. So him talking about Bitcoin, he's probably not the right advocate for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and that is something that the world definitely needs, but looks like it needs a much stronger conviction among the general population, and that is currently lacking right now. The price of Bitcoin has gone down. The funds have been liquidated. Funds have been lost. The damage is definitely done. It could be possible that in the near future, probably in the next month or so, or 6 months time or so, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies rises again. But Bitcoin was created precisely for this reason, that when the price of stock markets and inflation kicks in, Bitcoin is a hedge. But that is not the case. Again, something which I keep talking about to my friends and colleagues is that human greed, game theory, and the manipulation of demand and supply is something which needs a lot of time to work out, and I'm not entirely sure if that would actually materialize. Now, when we talk about demand and supply, the supply is fixed, and a lot of the Bitcoins are with early adopters, billionaires, multi-billionaires, multi-millionaire celebrities, and these are the guys who promote the value of Bitcoin, because of which the demand keeps fluctuating and increases, and by doing that their own net value in Bitcoin increases. So having Bitcoin as a world reserve currency, something which I talked about in yesterday's episode, will definitely not be an ideal thing, because Bitcoin will be in the hands of the elite few, and you do not want something which is in the hands of elite few to be the world reserve currency. Listen guys, separation of money and the state will take place. I am hoping that Bitcoin will be the dominant player, and Bitcoin should be in a dominant position now for the fruition of the moment. Let's talk about some technical news, and I won't go into the details of it because it has a lot of charts and graphs, and ideally it is better if you look at the chart and graph when I'm talking. So I'm very briefly going to give you an overview of what the information is all about. Now, Glassnode, they publish a report every Monday, and because I'm in Dubai, it's Tuesday is when I tend to look at it. Now, Glassnode's weekly insight states that we are now entering a phase aligned with the deepest and darkest phases of previous bears. So it looks like we're definitely entering the bear market. In case if you guys want to get a technical explanation, go to Glassnode's YouTube channel. They published a YouTube video which is over 20 minutes long. Go through it. It has a lot of technical information, and the hodl culture needs to prevail for us to break out from the bear market. Coin shares, they also provide a blog, and that is published via Medium. They have also confirmed that negative sentiments continues to plague digital assets, and they published a blog via the Medium page. I think James Butterfield, he's the guy who publishes a report every week. Absolutely brilliant, and it is extremely short and sweet. In the blog, they have mentioned the outflows have reached $102 million last week. Now, Bitcoin outflows total $57 million, whereas Ethereum outflow has increased to $41 million. What that essentially means, funds are going out from exchanges and people are trying to sell them. Inflow means that people are putting in money onto cryptocurrency exchanges. So definitely not looking good for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and cryptocurrencies. In that report, what they have published is something really interesting, is that America's outflow is at $98 million, whereas Europe's outflow is a surprising only $2 million. So America's outflow is $98 million and Europe's outflow just $2 million. Almost just 2% of America's outflow. Now, does this mean that Europeans are more convinced about Bitcoin, open blockchain, and cryptocurrencies than America? Also important to look at the overall inflow and outflow volume between America and Europe. Meanwhile, while all this thing is happening, all of the crypto price influencers on YouTube and Instagram, TikTok and Twitter, this is how they work. When the price of Bitcoin goes down, they would tell their followers, buy more Bitcoin, it is on a discount. When the price of Bitcoin is up, they would say buy more Bitcoin. The price is only going to go higher. That is definitely not right. Instead, they need to focus on the technology, on why Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. One thing which I am keep mentioning quite often is the Bitcoin white paper, and it is so relevant, especially in today's news. The very second line of Bitcoin white paper ends with a statement which is so relevant that says the main benefits are lost if a third party is still required to prevent double spending. And that's where the massive news about Celsius network kicks in. Celsius network has decided to pause all withdrawals and transfers. This is a massive news. I'm not sure if Celsius is in some kind of trouble. In the blog post they have mentioned is that they are doing this in order to protect customers. This is completely false. They are clearly doing this only to protect their own business, and I'll tell you the reason why. Watcher Guru on Twitter has just tweeted a screenshot where Celsius moved $320 million to FTX exchange before halting users' withdrawal, which means they are clearly focusing on their business and protecting their business first and not too keen about the customers. If you go to the Twitter thread, a lot of the customers are posting screenshots where because of Celsius move and restricting them to withdraw funds, they are facing a lot of financial crisis in their personal lives and in other trading platforms. So definitely a terrible move by Celsius Network. Alex Mashensky, who is the CEO of Celsius Network, I hate to say this, but looks like he's the biggest hypocrite, because whenever you watch any of his interviews, he often calls that Bitcoin is a movement to a separation of money and the states, and one word which he often refers to is the rich and elite making a lot of money. Guys, Alex Mashensky's net worth, he is a multi-billionaire, and how ironic for him to say that the rich and elite few are the ones who are making a lot of money, and something which they have done just yesterday just proves that point. So Celsius Network is definitely looking to protect their own business and not their customers. One really important tweet, which is by a guy named Larry Sermuk, he has tweeted that Celsius still has roughly $1.5 billion along with them. This is where the power of open blockchain and open source kicks in, because all of the transactions in cryptocurrencies are completely open source. So go through his Twitter profile. He's given a screenshot, but he didn't mention that these need not be 100% accurate. And he has also uploaded a document via Google Docs giving the public address of everyone, what is the funds and balances. So make what you think of it, but definitely not a good look for Celsius Network and the cryptocurrency space as well. Now Binance did face a similar situation, but that was completely different. Hashtag funds are safer. That is something which is quite relevant with CZ, the CEO of Binance, and with Binance. Now what happened earlier yesterday, Binance did pause Bitcoin withdrawals, and one of the reasons they did that was due to stuck transactions. Now go to CZ's Twitter profile and it gives you full explanation of why that has happened, but that has definitely been taken care of and that got resolved. So definitely not a good thing, but at least that got resolved. And this again goes back to the very second line of the Bitcoin white paper. The main benefits are lost if a trusted third party like Celsius Network or Binance is required to prevent double spending. One thing which Andreas Antonopoulos keeps saying quite often, not your keys, not your crypto, is extremely relevant. Let's move on to two news about UAE. The first news from UAE is about Repton Passport. So essentially, Repton, a school from business, they have a blockchain portfolio, so we'll just explore what that is. Repton is an organization, a school in UK, which was founded way back in 1557. So they are definitely one of the biggest organizations probably in the world. And they moved to UAE, and in Dubai, they had Repton School Dubai, which got founded in 2007. They have an office in Abu Dhabi as well, and that was opened in 2013. So the website for them is reptondubai.org. They have an excellent use case for using blockchain technology, but I feel they're using an incorrect technology. So the Repton family of school launches first of its kind blockchain portfolio capturing students' academic journey, that is from year 1 to year 13. Excellent use case for using blockchain technology. They are doing this in partnership with Nifty. Nifty uses Ethereum blockchain. This is fine. They have another partnership with EduChain Inc. EduChain Inc. uses Hyperledger, which is a permission blockchain. So this is an excellent use case. So imagine having students' educational certificates, the academic records on blockchain technology is an excellent use case, but they should have built it on Ethereum. If you're using having a partnership, let's say with Nifty, then they have Nifty has a partnership with Polygon, and then they're having it with Ethereum blockchain. This is the problem that I envision. If Polygon gets hacked, or if there's a problem with Polygon, Nifty is in trouble. If Nifty is in trouble, then Repton is in trouble as well. And ideally, that absolutely should not happen. Instead of doing all these partnerships, they could have simply used a software. So rather than using a permission blockchain like even EduChain who uses Hyperledger, they could have just used a software. Or the entire thing they could have built on Ethereum without the need for Nifty, without the need for EduChain, without the need for even Polygon as well. Just build it directly on Ethereum blockchain. The Repton family of schools in the UAE has partnered with EduChain Inc. And EduChain is revolutionizing the issuance, authentication, and distribution of all digital academic credentials, from letters and transcripts to diplomas and degrees. EduChain is a Canadian-based edtech investor, and they create the region's first K-12 blockchain secured multimedia digital portfolio. So it is called as the Repton Passport. So the Canadian-based edtech innovators are going to create the region's first K-12 blockchain secure multimedia digital portfolio called as Repton Passport. So students and alumni from the 3 Repton schools in UAE, that is Repton Dubai, Repton Al Barsha, and Repton Abu Dhabi, will be able to receive, manage, and share the academic and extracurricular accomplishments. Now, how they're going to do that is they will be provided with a unique link, and this unique link can be used across multiple platforms and social media. This is a great use case, but they don't need EduChain. Repton needs to do it directly. And remember, Bitcoin is peer-to-peer, which means at the end of the day, the students should be in a position to receive, manage, and share the academic and extracurricular accomplishments, not Repton, not EduChain, or not any medial entity. That is the power of blockchain technology. Now, on the website, it mentions that Repton Passport aims to archive every Reptonian school journey with a centralized collection of academic records, including transcripts, certifications, class pictures, awards, and non-extracurricular portfolios. The biggest problem is they have mentioned centralized collection, which is the exact opposite of why blockchain and Bitcoin technology is used. It should ideally be decentralized or distributed collection. Now, what happens if someone from Repton Passport decides to sell all of the academic records? What if someone tries to manipulate these data? One of the biggest problems with blockchain technology, both open blockchain and permission blockchain, is the data is only as good as the input, which means if a person is inputting incorrect information for academic records in an open blockchain, that data is absolutely immutable. So in addition to the academic documents, Repton Passport creates a digital memory of students' journey and the life lessons learned. Again, what if Repton decides to sell this to third parties, or maybe sell it and monetize that? So definitely using the wrong technology. So students and alumni are able to look back at their learning journey with pictures of proud moments. Now, all this is great, but by using a central entity, they are not using the right technology. What they claim is that with Repton Passport, students and alumni will be able to access their memorable experiences, meaningful friendship, and personal videos from the teachers who nurtured them and inspired them over the years. All this is great as long as it is peer-to-peer. Having a central entity means someone could easily hack it, manipulate it, and maybe even sell it as well. So the intentions of using are definitely great. A few things to consider is Repton Passport needs to be built on an open blockchain, maybe Ethereum. Using peer-to-peer open blockchain technology, students should be in a position to receive, manage, and share their educational credentials and certificates. No middle person, no central entity, not permission blockchain. They also have a partnership with Nifty and Polygon Energy Chain. Now, all of this partnership is great. It does provide, a lot of mainstream media news and coverage. But what happens if, let's say, Polygon is hacked or Nifty is hacked, which is extremely possible, or compromised? Now look at the example of Terra Luna. Look at the example of Solana, which is a centralized blockchain. They decided to stop producing blocks. So the whole benefits are completely lost by using a central entity. Again, going back to the Bitcoin white paper, the very second line crystal clearly says that the main benefits are lost if a central mediary or entity is required to prevent double spending problem. Instead of using all of these things, what Repton could have done, they could have just built a simple software instead of using blockchain technology. Another thing is, it would be great if all schools in Dubai, UAE, and Middle East, and probably around the world, start issuing education certificates on Ethereum blockchain. Education certificates can be authenticated and transferred within seconds anywhere in the world. Now, this would only be possible if all the schools are part of the system and all the schools are using, let's say, Ethereum or any other open distributed blockchain. This would only happen, once again, if all schools are on an open blockchain. If not, it would be better off just using a simple software. So again, the intentions are really good, but they are definitely using the wrong technology. The next news is about ZoroSign. Now, ZoroSign empowers UAE businesses with multi-chain blockchain technology. I couldn't get much information about this particular deal, so it looks like this was more of a promotional or partnership news and paid article by ZoroSign. Now, ZoroSign was founded in 2015 and they are based in Phoenix, Arizona. And ZoroSign was created to use electronic signature technology to deliver a unified platform of complete advanced digital transaction management or DTM solution. As per the website, they claim it's highly secure, flexible, seamless, and a robust solution to support end-to-end flow of document signature ceremonies for any situation, any industry, any department, and signatories located anywhere and using any devices can be benefited by ZoroSign. On the website, they also claim that it is a multi-chain blockchain platform that can be used to secure digital signatures, transactions, and chain of custody, Z-sign or don't sign. This is the information that I got based off their website. News is that ZoroSign empowers UAE businesses with multi-chain blockchain technology, and it can be used for digital signatures and transactions. Now, using ZoroSign's technology, platform unites legally compliant digital signatures, identity as a service, or IDAAS as they call it. It is a patented fraud and tampering detection plus AI ML form completion to deliver tampering proof and an immutable chain of custody for individuals, organizations, governments, and businesses worldwide. The problem I have is when they have patented fraud. So again, I need to do more research on ZoroSign. ZoroSign's UAE clients include several entities from the private and public sector that are entrenched in the Emirates digital transformation ecosystem. ZoroSign takes advantage of the latest in mobile technology like biometric to offer increased security and execute digital transaction management processes. The app brings users more flexibility, faster processing time, increased efficiency, and error-free document cycles when signing documents and procedures on the go. Now, they have an app and the app is available for iOS users and Android users as well. For iOS, I believe it's 12 and above, and for Android users, it's 6.0 and above. Sham Hadi, the CEO and founder of ZoroSign, has said, "We are proud to collaborate with and provide solutions to companies based globally and specifically in the GCC looking to upgrade to Web3 technologies for a more secure, streamlined, and simplified digital documentation solution on their system. We continue to closely listen to our clients and meet their evolving needs to speed and improve business operations." And he also said that, "And we are looking to introduce superior privacy and securities to our clients' digital ecosystems." I'm really not sure where this blockchain technology fits into this. The only thing I can think of is the secure hashing algorithm, that is SHA-256 and Merkle-tree. Could it be possible that the digital signatures use SHA-256 and it is used with Merkle-tree and then stored on a blockchain? That would be a great use case, but again, I could not get much information about that. Well, that's all for today, guys, from the Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. You can also check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. You can also check out my other website, that is area2071.com, where we talk about metaverse and metaverse everything. If you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next 30 minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, DeFi, NFTs, and metaverse as well. So let's kickstart with Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to Ask Me Anything series where your listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. Remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information from the cryptocurrency world. We look at top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. What you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions from the cryptocurrency world. I have a question by Dwayne, who asks, "Can you tell us if it is a good idea to get involved in Bitcoin mining now?" Dwayne, firstly, this is not a financial advice. What you're saying is if it's a good time to get involved in Bitcoin mining right now. This totally depends on your financial standings. The economies of scale for Bitcoin mining is ridiculously high, especially now. What I'll be doing, Dwayne, I was idly thinking of covering the Bitcoin mining today, but I will be talking more about it in tomorrow's episode. So what I would definitely recommend you to do is listen to my episode for tomorrow. And again, this is not financial advice. But if you were to ask me, is it a good idea to get involved in Bitcoin mining at this point of time, I would definitely say no. Because the Bitcoin mining hash rate is at its highest and the Bitcoin price has fallen down, so definitely not the right time. Again, this is not a financial advice. What I would recommend once again is check out my episode for tomorrow, where I will talk about if Bitcoin mining is something that you may want to get involved in. What I was planning to do is, Dwayne, I was thinking of covering that in today's episode. What happens is, when I write my article via LinkedIn, LinkedIn has a word limit. And I completed the word limit, so I could not mention about Bitcoin mining. But I'm definitely going to be covering that in tomorrow's episode. What I would recommend, Dwayne, in the meantime to do is, if you are keen on getting into Bitcoin mining, there is a website by Blockstream. So go to Blockstream's website. They have loads of information about Bitcoin mining. And in the next 24 hours, also try to look at GMT token. Habib Nurmagomedov, the former UFC champion and the GOAT, is the ambassador for GMT token. Now, personally, I think GMT token has much better reviews so far as Bitcoin mining operations is concerned. And in tomorrow's episode, I'm also be talking some, I wouldn't necessarily say breaking news, but some really critical information regarding Bitcoin mining, which most probably might start in Abu Dhabi. And that might be underground as well. So, I don't want to give out too much information in today's episode because then I won't have to talk about Bitcoin mining in tomorrow's episode. I have another question by Gary who asks, would you recommend to buy any other coins besides Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., etc.? Now, Gary, again, this is not financial advice because I do not give any financial advice, but my recommendation and my portfolio only includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, and one thing which I do regret is Cardano. So my strong recommendation is something which I tell pretty much everyone is, rather than looking at the price, try to understand the technology. Try to understand why Bitcoin was created. And if you go to my website, I have a series of videos put up giving the history of Bitcoin, the definition of Bitcoin. So I would try to tell you is that try to understand the technology. Regarding getting into altcoins, I definitely would not recommend. There are over 19,900 cryptocurrencies. 99.99% of them are absolutely rubbish, and a lot of them might, or rather will, end up going to zero. Even things like Dogecoin does not have any value, but because Elon Musk promotes it, does tend to have a lot of traction in social media. Even Shiba Inu, at least it's much better than, let's say, Dogecoin. There are truckloads of different coins. That being said, Gary, one of my favorite is Monero, and Monero is a privacy coin, but because it is a privacy coin, governments can force cryptocurrency exchanges to stop accepting or dealing with privacy coins. So that is another drawback as well. What you can do is, if you go to my website, I have mentioned cryptocurrency sections and just go through it. But I wouldn't recommend getting into any other cryptocurrencies besides maybe Bitcoin. Bitcoin is definitely the king of all kings. And what I would recommend, Gary, is if you're really keen on understanding the tech, focus on Bitcoin, then focus on Lightning Network, focus on Liquid Network, and focus on Sphinx.chat. All of this information is mentioned in the previous questions website that I told Dwayne, I believe, Blockstream. Go to Blockstream's website. You would get loads of information about Lightning Network, Liquid Network, maybe even Sphinx.chat. And if you want to get more information about Bitcoin, there is also Jameson Lobb. He probably has the best website explaining what Bitcoin is. And one thing which I tell clients is, the moment you understand what Bitcoin is, you understand what Bitcoin is not, and that is so critical. Well, that's all for today, guys, from today's Ask Me Anything series from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. You can also check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. Check out my other website, that is area2071.com, if you're into Metaverse, because that focuses everything on Metaverse. And if you like listening to this, please follow this podcast, give it a 5-star rating, click on the follow button, and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse as well. How the series of Crypto Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well. News that has an impact in the crypto world. The other 2 news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of cryptocurrencies. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.